Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and I make videos about quilting and my creative life. Anywhere that you can find me on the internet is listed down in the description box below, and you can stay up to date with what I'm doing regularly on Instagram and TikTok. As many of you may know, I was part of the Alice Caroline Sew Along Festival, and that has now officially begun. And this is an online sort of workshop, make-along type of thing, where there's 20 people involved and they have produced patterns, workshops and lots of different things. There's also going to be some live stream events coming up where people will be doing interviews and chatting, all that type of thing. So please stay tuned to that. Follow me on Instagram and I'll keep you up to date with when mine is. I am recording this a little bit ahead of time, so my understanding is that the workshops and the videos will be released in a sequence. So I'm not sure what day mine is coming out or the pattern that I'll be making today. Because in today's video, I am going to be making the Petunia pouch by Zoe Mason. I printed it out in black and white, but I'll try and put a colour photo here for you. So basically it's a zipped pouch, rectangular. I think the zip comes all the way around. I'm not 100% sure. But there's a fussy cut sort of image in the middle and then lots of lovely little clamshells around the edge. I'm going to be giving this a go today. I have only got the pattern rather than the video itself, but all of the patterns will be accompanied by a video. So let's see how far I can get. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'll also be doing lots of other video make-alongs during this week of the festival. The tickets still are on the early bird discounted price. So you can get 50% off until I think it's like 3 days into the festival. I'll leave the final date on the screen for you. And then after that, you can still purchase tickets, but it's not the early bird price. And rest assured, you get lifetime access to all the content, so you can make the patterns as many times as you want. It's not just dedicated to this week, it will just span the whole time. So really, you're paying for access to the patterns. Anyway, all of that's out the way. I've given you all of the information. So let me show you what fabric I've chosen. So the make-along is hosted by Alice Caroline. There's no obligation at all to use Liberty fabrics, and I'm not going to today. So for the fussy cut area, I've chosen, first of all the fabric that I'll be using, most of it apart from one, is from Rose Garden Patchwork. I've got this little panel here, and I did think, shall I use a blue accent, but the zips that I've got that are long enough, I've only got pink, so I'm going to go for a red and pink colour. So which are the ones that I'm going for? I'm going to choose these two. So this one with the dog and this one where the girl's holding the flowers. I've only got that one with the dog, so I'm going to have to cut a hole right in the middle of the fabric. That's typical, that is, isn't it? But that's fine. I will generally only use this fabric for fussy cutting, I think. So the pattern has piping around the top. I'll be using this piping. This is actually a Liberty fat quarter. It's a Liberty quilting cotton rather than the Tana lawn. So yeah. And then I've just got a selection of reds. These are fat quarters, but I've already cut into them, so I'm happy to cut into them a little bit more. And I've just got some small pieces that again will go with it. And piping cord, the zip that I showed you, and various little bits of interfacing that you need. So I'm going to get cutting the pattern out and get started. So I've cut out lots of my fabric and I've just been cutting out the clamshells. I've decided to use hexiform because they give such a nice like shape around the clamshells, don't they? So the clamshells form around the pattern here. So I'm just working on cutting those out. I've cut the tip off the clamshells because based on the pattern it doesn't look like the tip is even shown, so I've just left a little bit of an overhang, about 1/4 of an inch, so that if I need to I've got a little bit to play with, but you don't see the inside of the clamshell anyway. So I've cut these out. These are the 4x4 squares that I need for fussy cutting, but I think I've made a mistake because by the time I add clamshells it's going to cover a face. So I don't think I'll be able to use these because I do want to still put a clamshell over the top as in the pattern. So I'm going to use one that's not cut out first and then arrange them. So I might cut out more of her lower body, but I'd rather cut out the lower bit of her body than it goes something like that. So I'll arrange them and then cut out the placement of the 4x4 squares. So I'm going to get basting these and then I'll sort the rest out from there. I've basted those. I think I'm just going to iron them as I go, just to make that really nice and flat. Oh, look how cute that is. I'm glad I managed to get that image on there. Just roughly done that, and this is a 4.5 inch ruler, so there will be some that will be lost, but where's my girl? The middle there. Yeah, so everything should fit within the 4 inches, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to glue base that down now. So I've just looked forward a few steps in the pattern and I've actually had to change it, so these ones aren't like that, they're straight like that, so that I can get it to work with the pattern. So yeah, I quite like that though. I think it frames it really nicely. And I've got this basic glue. I got this very kindly from Missouri Star, and it's really good just for adding a few dots. It really does baste everything. And then you just set it with a hot iron. I have now sewn the front panel, and I did a little bit of quilting. You'll probably be able to see it better on the reverse of the panel. So just very, very simple quilting, because all of these clamshells are with the hexiform, so that's fine. The back, it says to repeat it, but I don't fancy doing patchwork on the back, so I'm just going to use this wonderful fabric that I've got. I have cut it wonky, but what's new for me? So I'm going to add some simple straight line stitches just to add a little bit of quilting details. If it's not wonky and it's not imperfect, it's got nothing to do with me. I've only got a tiny little bit of this pink left, so I don't know if I'll be able to do every single row. So for now, I'm just going to miss, yeah, maybe do this in between these row. And I'm not marking anything, I'm just literally going to go in between the lettering. I have just sewn I've just sewn piping, well, made my own piping. I hope you can see that. So this is that Liberty Fat Quarter, and I've put 4mm piping cord inside. First time I've ever done it, but still I don't think I've done all the hurdles, and it still need to attach it. So this is my front panel, and then it's lined, and got 2 pockets there. This one is my back panel, and this one, because I thought it would be sitting at the bottom of the bag, I've just put one large pocket there, because I thought, well, if I'm putting any projects in there, I can put it underneath half the project, or scissors or anything, it can go in more accessibly. This one, because of the Hexifoam, it's really nice and stiff, so that's going to look really good. So I need to get this piping attached now. So I've sewn the piping on now. I think this is how it's supposed to look. I assume that then when everything's joined, that will just sort of fold back like that, and that'll be inside the seams. Is that how it goes? I really hope so. It looks how it looks on the pictures. And now I understand from the pattern that the pouch will open here. The pouch will open here as a zipper, so there'll be pockets and then like a an area inside where you can store things. So I do really like that. But I'm now onto the zip, and I'm going to leave the zip until I have access to the video. I'm following the instructions, but I'm not quite sure. It might be because I've printed the pictures in black and white. I might be able to see the instructions very slightly better if I printed them in colour. But what I don't want to do is rush the pattern or anything like that and ruin what I've already done. I know you can always undo stitches and things, but also I am trying to improve my confidence, and I feel like if I do something majorly wrong and it doesn't turn out right, it won't do well for my confidence. So I think I'm going to put it down while I'm ahead. Hope that the pattern is released in time for me to finish this so I can show you in one video. But if it's not, I'll make a second part once I've watched the pattern video, and we'll get the bag completed together. I bought this really beautiful box a couple of days ago. It was from the Card Factory in the UK, so it's designed to give gifts in, but I love buying these to put projects in. So I'm going to store, I know it looks like a big box for this project, but I'm going to put all of my things in here that I'm making for all of the make along projects. So I'll just store them in here. So I'll put the pattern in first. We've got my 2 pieces. I've got the zip that I'm going to use, but I did also pull one out of my stash just in case. So in case I have any zip issues, I've got a spare one in there. There's that, and I'll just gather up the rest. So there we go, I've got all of the rest of the pieces in there ready for any other projects that I do in the make along. They'll all sit in here nicely, and then when I'm done I'll use this for other storage for crafting. So just in case I'm not able to complete it beforehand, I will say my goodbyes now, and hopefully I'll see you back here for part 2. And until next time, take care, bye bye.